Spring football has always been pretty interesting to me. I like to consider myself a big football fan, so seeing the sport year-round is something I enjoy. But there have been very few leagues that are just able to keep going for more than a couple of years. I mean, the only leagues that aren't the NFL that I know of that have been existing for more than 5 years are the Arena Football League and the Canadian Football League. One of them is for a completely different country, and the other one is basically a different sport. These random spring leagues that pop up every once in a while always struggle to gain revenue, due to a lack of fans, due to a lack of talent that is on the field. In reality, no matter what new innovative rules or former wash players you get to play for you, nobody wants to watch bad quarterback play. But 40 years ago, there used to be a spring league that had an actual following, with great players and of course, a lot of that moolah. I am of course talking about the United States Football League. The USFL was unlike any other spring league we have ever seen. They were able to sign 3 straight Heisman winners right out of college in Mike Rozier, Herschel Walker, and Doug Flutie. They also had a lot of great talent at the quarterback position. I already mentioned Doug Flutie, but in addition to him, they had guys like Steve Young, Brian Sipe, Jim Kelly, Bobby Hebert, and Doug Williams. The USFL was so attractive to these young players for 2 main reasons. A, they played sooner than the NFL. The USFL had their draft in the winter and began play in the spring, whereas the NFL had their draft in the spring and didn't start playing until the fall. And B, the USFL had that dough. Coming out of BYU, they gave Steve Young a $40 million contract that was supposed to be paid out over 43 years. That's some Bobby Bonilla shit right there. He ended up just settling for the $1.3 as opposed to putting that money to fund the annuity, but still, 43 years. Had the USFL still been going on, that contract would not have expired until 2027, 6 years from now. Speaking of, if the USFL were to still be playing, they were in place to create some serious trouble for the NFL in 1986. Had the USFL played in '86, the New Jersey Generals looked to be stacked. In addition to already having Herschel Walker and Doug Flutie, they were in line to get Lawrence Taylor and Don Shula from the NFL. Plus, a merger with the Houston Gamblers would have brought in quarterback Jim Kelly. That's a scary team. You also had to keep in mind Bo Jackson also would have been playing in the USFL had it been around in 1986. Coming out of college, the last thing he wanted to do was play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So if he had the option to play football in the spring and baseball in the summer and fall, he absolutely would have taken that chance. But the 1986 never happened for the USFL. You see, then Generals owner and future US President Donald Trump had suggested that the league move to the fall. This was in order to create competition with the NFL and hopefully form a merger with them. Now, I don't feel like getting into a bunch of law things and stuff like that, but long story short, USFL filed a $1 billion antitrust lawsuit, they won it, the settlement was only $3, the league then folded. Ever since then, no spring league has been able to match the amount of talent and hype the USFL had. And it really goes back to nobody wanting to watch bad quarterback play, which is why these leagues have a hard time staying afloat financially. But on June 3rd, CEO of the Spring League, Brian Woods, has announced that he teamed up with Fox Sports to bring back the United States Football League. The league will have a minimum of 8 teams and will kick off in the spring of 2022. With all these spring football leagues, the new USFL will provide an innovative football to fans while also giving them the best viewing experience possible. Basically, what that means is they're going to try out new fancy rules. None of the team names or locations have been revealed yet, but what Woods did say is that they retain the rights to all of the original team names. So we could very well see the Philadelphia Stars battle out against the Los Angeles Express once again. So this could very well end up like a bunch of the other spring leagues before it, like the AAF or both of the XFLs, but I have a really good feeling about the new USFL. They already have a little bit of financial stability with Fox Sports helping to fund the whole operation, and plus they already have a fairly big fan base to build off of. Fans of the USFL in the 80s are still at large today. My dad was one of them. He absolutely loved that league and is super excited for it to come back. And I agree with him. I thought the USFL was great, and I'm really excited to see what Brian Woods does with it in 2022. I have been waiting for a while for the spring league that can have some sort of stability, and I really feel like the USFL can finally do that. So that's it for today's video. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button and you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you know when I upload all my videos. Also, feel free to check out all my other social media links listed down in the description below. I have an Instagram, a Twitter, a TikTok, and I post some pretty cool content to those as well as here on YouTube. So once again, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.